stopped saddling the horses for the agents. Things only got worse once they started riding. President Reagan would ride fast and jump fences. He was really an English equestrian rider. The agents assigned to him did not know how to ride, and they were having trouble keeping up with him. One day, an agent fell off his horse and broke his arm. The president-elect dismounted his horse to take care of the agent. Our chief supervisor at the time rightly said, that was not how things should work. The president was not supposed to be giving us aid and comfort. That was what we should be doing for him. After that incident, the detail supervisor called the White House and said, I have a big problem out here. I need someone who can ride a horse. The supervisor at the White House put out the word to the shift leaders that they needed to find an agent who could really ride. And that's where I came in. To deal with the new security needs at the ranch following Reagan's election, the Secret Service created the Western Protective Division, WPD, which would protect the ranch even when the first couple was not there. In the weeks before the inauguration, agents made a trip to Santa Barbara, California. Members of the Secret Service always fly commercially, unless they are working a shift. Only then do they fly on Air Force One or another government aircraft. In Santa Barbara, the agents used dozens of rental cars that had been brought up from Los Angeles. During the first few months, we drove those rental cars from our hotel in Santa Barbara to the ranch for our 8-hour shifts. But the drive up the winding mountain road was tough, and it wasn't long before sturdier Chevy Suburbans replaced them. For the next 8 years, the Suburbans were workhorses, transporting the agents on those precipitous drives to and from the ranch. The number of agents on duty at the ranch varied, depending on ever-changing circumstances such as the weather and the president's arrivals and departures. In addition to the dog teams outside the perimeter, there could be as many as 54 supplemental agents standing post. The president and I first met in late November 1980, during my first trip to the ranch. On my first morning there, I was standing outside the barn with Jerry Parr, the deputy special agent in charge, when the president-elect approached us on his way to get his horse ready. A path of about 50 steps led from the ranch house to the tack room. Built on a hill, the tack room was in a metal and brick building with 2 large rooms. In one of the rooms were the president's 2 jeeps, a tractor, and all the ranch tools, including chainsaws, pole saws, and axes. All the horse equipment was kept inside the second room, where the wall was covered with saddles hanging on racks. Some of the saddles were gifts that the president had received, while others were ones he had used for years. Near the tack room was a workbench attached to the wall, which was used for taking chainsaws apart. The stables were next to the barn, and they were usually empty because the president liked to let his horses run free. Reagan was dressed to go riding. He had on his jodhpurs, one of the 3 shirts he always wore, and the best English riding boots, brown Daner 3-buckle field boots from Omaha. These boots were from the old school, and few people wear them anymore. The president saw us and said, "Good morning." "Good morning, Mr. President," Jerry responded. "This is Agent John Barletta. He is from the White House detail, and he is going to ride with you today." A quiet, soft-spoken, intelligent man, Jerry looked like Walter Matthau. All the shift members liked him, and the respect for him was immense. He was highly experienced and really knew his job. The president nodded and smiled, but you could tell by the look in his eyes that he was skeptical. "Oh no," he was thinking, "not another one that I'm going to have to babysit. I won't be able to do what I want because these guys can't ride." My boss knew nothing about horseback riding, and he had never seen me ride either. Still, Jerry was anxious to give me a try. Before we went into the tack room, he gave me explicit instructions on how to handle the president-elect and his requests while riding with him. "John, the president may ask you if it's all right for him to do something while riding. Always tell him that he can do whatever he wants to do and that you will keep up with him." "Mr. Parr," I reminded him, "you've never seen me on a horse. You don't even know if I can ride or not." Jerry shot back, "You told me you could."